As runners, we all challenge ourselves in ways we never thought possible, pushing the boundaries of what we're capable of to smash through targets and set ourselves new, bigger and better ones.
This awesome hobby that we share gives us one thing in common, and it brings us together as a community. Whether you're working towards completing your first parkrun or you're a veteran of the sport who's run 100 ultra marathons, we all know the feeling of reaching that maxed out effort and our own red line.
Welcome to our podcast, where your hosts Brett Elesmore and Andy Maguire discuss the struggles, the successes and everything in between on our running journeys, as we all work towards the next time we're running the red line. Hello and welcome to episode 75 of Running the Red Line. I am your host Brett and he is back. I am here as always with my co-host Andy. So a week off, mate. I've got to apologise for absolutely tanking our listenership and viewership, making it 10 of 10. On YouTube and everything. No one wants to listen to me just I don't know, waffle on my own. They want the ultra superstar here. So how are you?
Well, you say that, but I listened to the podcast Sunday afternoon when it, because I think you put it out at normal time, didn't you? And I listened to it while I was in a trench. I was in a real low moment. Not that that's why you should listen to Running the Red Line. Whenever you're at your worst, whenever you found your bottom, stick us on. But I really genuinely enjoyed listening to the because I mean, you obviously spoke to me on the phone for 5 or 10 minutes, but I really genuinely enjoyed listening to you just chat about Marco Arop, and you were chatting about, you know, the various races that had happened and things, and you were talking about the Parkrun and the Red Line, and then the Strava segment, comments and emails, and I was like, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the Running the Red Line podcast, because in the earlier days I would listen to the podcast back, but I just haven't listened to them back for a little while, and this was the first podcast I've listened back to, or listen to, and it was brilliant. I totally see why people listen to podcasts now when they're running, because it feels like, I was like, it's like Brett is literally running with me here, and it's like I've literally got a mate running, pulling me out of this hole that I'm in. But no, I think you should be applauded for doing was it an hour in the end?
Yeah, I managed to get just under an hour, so yeah, I don't know how. I spent like 15 minutes talking to you on the phone.
Was that 15? Was it? I didn't even. I felt like about a minute. But like the fact that you can just do a podcast, like a radio show, on your own is pretty awesome. But no, I very much appreciated it, and I was an avid listener this time last week, so I very much appreciated you putting the podcast out.
Excellent. How is the body feeling? How are the feet? Or should we say trotters?
Yeah. Well, the best way I can sort of get it across is that slowly, day by day, my feet feel like they are being cast in a plaster of Paris or like cement, because I've got like one sole of my foot entire blister. That's what it feels like the whole, 4 foot pad, like where your toes meet your foot, essentially, that bit on both feet is just so sore all week. It's just terrible walking form. I've been walking on the outside edges of my foot because I can't really put much weight on my balls of my feet. I went to work today. It was just really awful because I could hardly walk. Me and Laura just constantly she's just she I don't know, she probably hates me right now because I can't take the dog out because I can't walk with her.
Yeah.
So she's probably thrilled that I did this challenge last week
Yeah.
because I've just basically been useless
So
all
was
week.
today your first day back at work since
It was,
the weekend?
yeah, it was
'cause
supposed to. It was
we
supposed to
should
be
probably
yesterday.
say it's Thursday today, isn't it? It's Thursday evening
Yes,
right now,
yeah,
rather than our usual Friday recording.
yeah. It was supposed to be yesterday, but fortunately for me, my job on site got pushed back a day, and I was quite pleased with that because this time yesterday I was hurting even more. I mean, I've been back doing like laptopy stuff, and I know this isn't work, but I earn like, I don't know, 14 quid a month. So yes, it is work. I've been starting work on my YouTube videos as well. So it's
Excellent.
like, it's just been so much fun looking back over the footage from last week as well. But yeah, I went out to work today and yeah, feel like my bubble has burst
It's back to
and
reality.
I'm back to reality. Yeah. But I tell you what, though, living in an ultra bubble is some place to find yourself. It's so much fun because me and Laura, even Laura would probably even say, if push came to shove, she might have even had a good time last week because I think she did actually enjoy it because there's so much, because it was like a team effort. It's like she would, she'd be in charge of logistics, so she would have to work out how to get to the next checkpoint. She'd like, have to work out if we've got enough croissants or donuts, cans of Coke. If we've got enough water, we'd have to do the water refill every morning. We'd have to petrol because sometimes we're in the middle of nowhere, and obviously timings as well. Some of the checkpoints were at different distances from the one before it, so I was arriving at different times, and there was just so much that went into it that Laura, we'd both get back at the end of the day, and we'd both say to each other, like, we're both exhausted. Like, just because Laura hasn't run 50k or whatever doesn't mean that she's any less exhausted because what she's doing, and she's
it's
doing all the
mentally
content
draining
as well. Yeah. So she's doing all the blooming Instagramming and stuff like that. So I think that what she did was the unsung hero, really, of the trip, because you can't do a trip like that on your own. You just can't. A self-supported trip, you need the right conditions, temperature wise and terrain wise, and after that, you're gonna eventually quite quickly need help. Like, I think I've managed to do, like, for example, the Worcestershire Way in like November or something like that, when it's 6 degrees. I know I'm not going to be sweating a lot. I know I'm not going to be drinking as much water as I would do in July. And you can even stash a bit of water along the way if you know the route, that sort of thing. But I couldn't do that for 200 mile. Like, no. I couldn't do that sort of thing. So having somebody there to do all that donkey work for you she's the real winner. She's the real winner.
Yeah. Taking all of the logistics out of your hands saved you a lot of mental and physical toil, because you didn't have to think about it. You just knew where Laura was going to be at the next one, and you knew she was going to have everything in hand. Whereas if you're trying to work that out as well along the way, that's just going to make it 10 times harder, isn't it?
Yeah, like, I couldn't imagine like stashing a bottle of water for myself and then getting there and I can't find it or it's gone. And think, what am I going to do? I've run out of water now. I've got another 10 miles, something like that. So, things like that were I was very, very grateful for. And she made it so easy, or as easy as possible for me to do well. On your own, I don't think that challenge, of course it's doable. Anything in this modern world is doable, but I don't know if it would be comfortable as it was for me. If you were trying to attempt something like that on your own. But definitely a team effort, and Laura's a really good crew member. She's really naturally quite good at it. She's quite organised, and she's good at, she's good at that sort of thing. So
yeah. And I must admit, some of the like stories and photos she was putting up on Instagram, man, she saw some beautiful places. So if your scenery was half as good as what Laura saw,
it was nice, because I didn't realise this. I mean, the whole adventure thing was one of the biggest reasons to do it, but you just realise how big this country is and how little of it you've seen.
Yeah.
Like even towns that are like within 30 miles of where we live. I was like, I've never been to Ironbridge. I've never been to like Shrewsbury, or I've never been to these really nice parts of the world. And it was just the thrill of adventure, from the start. And that was probably the best bit of it, because it was like a turbocharged holiday. You spend a grand total of about 20 minutes if you're lucky in one nice place, but the whole thing was just so good. And I do think that being on foot, and especially running, is the best way to sightsee. So I don't know if you do this when you go on holiday, or if you go, I don't know, London would be a good example. If you went to London for the weekend, it's just so good to just get out on foot, isn't it? And just have a run around, because don't have to worry about hiring an e-bike or getting on the bus or anything like that. You can just literally go and...
In London, you probably get places quicker than on the bus.
Exactly.
Or in a taxi or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's... And what this is... Maybe I might put this in my video, actually. But one of the best things about it, running, is the oldest form of transport, isn't it? It's like... It's what we were built for as human beings, isn't it? And it's like doing this kind of run from the source to the sea was like, I mean, I'm sure people didn't used to do that back in the olden days, but like it's just like, you think about how much industry there's been on the river. And I was doing a bit of reading, and have you been to Bridgnorth before?
Well, my mom's from Bridgnorth.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, when you were going through Bridgnorth and Highley and all that sort of place, that's my mom's old haunts, and she was
no way.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, I was reading that in like the 1800s or something like that, Bridgnorth was like the hub of the River Severn. It was like it fed Wales and Birmingham with coal that would come up and down the river from various places. Spices, all things that would be traded like that, cotton, any commodity that was worth something would come up and down the river. And Bridgnorth was like the blooming New York
like
City
central hub.
Yeah. But since bridges got built and things like that, obviously it changed a lot. But like, I wish it sounds a bit silly now. I wish I'd have read the guidebook properly, because I was reading the guidebook after I'd finished, because I think I massively got the blues now. And I got back, and Laura's like, "What are you doing? Just go to sleep, you idiot." And I was reading the guidebook, because I was like, "No, I want to read a bit more about the River Severn." And I was reading all about Bridgnorth and like Worcester and Gloucester and Shrewsbury and all that sort of stuff. And it's just fascinating. So, but yeah, I'm sure we'll have time to get onto it a bit later. But yeah, feet are sore, walking is sore. But I think I'm probably going to go sub 20 Saturday. I think I should go back to it Saturday. I'd be lucky, wouldn't I? I haven't done any speed work since the last time I did it. I don't think I could drive a sub 20 at the moment. I think it's having watched your video that your bonus video that I saw today, when you came out and saw me on the middle night when I was doing the run. When I saw your Parkrun video, just made me want to run fast, because it's been a while since I've done that. And that's one thing about me. I always want the other thing. I always want what I can't have or what I haven't got. So when I'm running fast and doing 5K training, I just want to do the ultras. But when I'm doing the ultras, all I want to do is do a fast 5K. And but no, that's another good thing I was going to say about the podcast last week. You also did another good bonus video that I watched earlier on. And you had a few people on the channel, which was cool. Good to see Leggett Lee.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Stay dangerous. Just so good to see Lee. We saw, I think we saw Martin Maguire, didn't we? Who we'll get
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
on the
Who it
video as well.
just like secret PBs and just
Just
doesn't
like
tell
a
you. Comes and has a chat with you, and he's like, "Oh yeah," and then you have a look on his results later. He's got another PB. Yeah.
yeah, just another one. Yeah. But yeah, so I feel really inspired watching that Parkrun video to get back to it. But I think I'm going to have a couple of weeks of recovery. I think that'd be sensible
Cool.
with
Yeah.
no running at all. Maybe I might get a run in at the end of next week, so maybe a nice easy Parkrun a week Saturday. But nothing, certainly nothing this weekend. Nothing early next week, and I'm just going to enjoy the recovery, I think.
Yeah, and then start afresh and
Yeah.
like draw a line in the sand and start again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So
Yeah.
have you thought about what's next?
I have.
Of course you have.
I have, yeah. And it's even more ambitious.
Okay.
But I will keep my cards close to my chest on that one
And
because
does it involve one of the short distance or a longer distance?
it involves a long distance, yeah.
Ah, okay.
I'll be honest, I really enjoyed trail and ultra running this weekend so much that it's made me just want to do it more. But I know you can't do it all. Can you, though? No, you can't really, can you? I think you almost have to pledge an allegiance whether you want to be short or long distance. And I probably include, no, you can't really include a half marathon. I think, what would you call a 5K to marathon runner? Would you just call that a road runner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a road racer, because they're all
road racer.
They're race distances, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, I want to do 5K to like 50 mile. But I genuinely just really enjoyed it. And what I like, and this is going to make me sound like a massive loner, but I really liked the long hours of solitude, if that makes sense, without me sounding like
100% makes sense. Yeah.
Because I was on my own a lot this weekend. And yes, and I didn't have any headphones, so I listened to the podcast on sort of speaker and stuff. But apart from that, I didn't listen to anything else. And it was just so good just to be alone in my own head. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you can almost make an order of the world. You know what I mean? You can start to plan what it is you really want to do and who you want to hang out with and who it is you want to catch up with and who you haven't seen for a while that you want to, you think, oh, I need to see this person or that person, or, oh, this person's done this for me. Maybe I should make a bit more of an effort or whatever. And it's like, you have all that time to really process the world a little bit. And that's what I like about it. So yeah, I don't know, because I love my road runs. I love the road racing. But what I think I might maybe loosely commit to is like a summer of fun every year in between marathon blocks.
Yeah.
And then winter and sort of spring and autumn will be my road racing season, I think. So yeah, I think that's the way I'm going to continue to do things, just because that way I get to do it all, because you can't do it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
and that's the way round. That's the way round I'd want it as well, because the thought of doing 50 miles in the mud and 3 degrees and fog wouldn't quite have been as much fun as moaning about the heat as it was last week.
No, that weather you just described is for your first foray into cross country this year.
Yes. Well, I've already spoken to the people at Worcester about cross country, and they've said, yeah, we'd love you to come join the team. And I'm pretty sure Worcester actually got relegated. I think they're in
Division 2 now.
Yeah. So again, I don't know who's in that league or where the fixtures will be.
Unfortunately, we won't be racing against each other. So whilst I'm coming back to fitness to try and get back into running, you're going to be racing somewhere else. Your
Premier League. So where do you think you'll be by sort of cross country season, November, December? Do you think you'll be ready to race?
I'm gonna try and do all 4 of the cross country races, but I don't think I'll be racing until at least January.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's going to be a few months of easy running just to get back into it. Because I mean, by the time I start running again in October, I'll have had, hang on, May, June, July, August, September, just over 5 months of no running at all.
God.
So yeah,
I can't believe that. That is such a long time for you to have away from running. Because I remember how crazy you used to go when you'd miss a session or you'd miss a long run on a Sunday, and I could see it in your face how frustrating that is. But I feel like you've sort of, over the last few weeks and months, I feel like after London, you sort of almost immediately made peace with it. Like, this is going to be a long process. Yeah.
So I've sort of made peace with it now. I mean, I was in the boot for 11 weeks before that came off. So yeah, that was annoying. But now it's still not right at the moment. It still feels a bit funny at times, but it's going to, because it's not been used properly for a long time. So but I was going to mention about that, actually, the fact that I'm now out the boot, because I said on last week's I'd like chat through it a bit more with you when you came back, because when I went to fracture clinic, when was it? So it was just a week and a day ago. So it was Wednesday last week. I went to fracture clinic, and immediately, as soon as I got down there, I was the first one in. It was amazing. So I was the first one in for the day, and they took me straight down to X-ray to have more X-rays on my leg, and then from there I went straight in to see the doctor, and I actually got to see my X-rays this time. So every time that I've been before, they've had the computer screen facing them, and then I'm sat the other side, and they're just telling me things. And haven't really been that much like in that much detail. But this time he turned the computer screen to show me, and he had side by side my X-ray from April and my X-ray from last week next to each other. So, and he was pointing out like the stress fracture and where it had healed and everything, and he was like, so you can see that black line going through there, that's your stress fracture, but now on the new one you can see that that line's no longer there, and there's more white on the edge of the bone, which means it's healing, and there's things. So he said it's more or less fully healed. I've just got to take it easy getting back into it. And I was like, it's all right, I've got another 6 to 8 weeks off anyway, so I'll be taking it easy into it. But I'm going to draw it for you, actually, just because I thought, let me draw a quick bone.
Like a proper, like what a dog would eat, one of those.
Yeah. So imagine
it is, literally is.
Imagine that's my tibia, which I've fractured. I thought,
tibia or not tibia.
Yeah, I thought my stress fracture was like that.
Yeah.
So it was like a crack in the bone.
Like a horizontal one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Like as if it was broke in two, but only part of the way through. That's what I thought I'd done. But I was completely wrong, because when he showed me, it looked something like this.
Oh, so not a straight line then?
No, so it was a crack down the bone. So it was basically from impact and the constant pounding on the top of the bone, it had splintered off and a bit had cracked off, and the crack was just going further and further down. So obviously, by training through it, I just made that crack go further and further down the bone. So there was more of a splinter coming off each time.
I'm so sorry to be immature, but just turn it upside down. I'm all of a sudden I'm in year 8.
Yeah,
Sorry.
brilliant. But
Wow. So it was
yeah,
quite
so it
a
was
almost
yeah,
quite a
so it was
long.
like a flake or not a flake because it was thicker than that, but like just like imagine you got a piece of wood and hit it on the top of the hammer where the
Yeah.
it was like that bit had splintered off, and so
Yeah.
obviously that had to then pull back into the bone to like fuse back together.
Oh, right.
But yeah, so that means that from February, when I had that bit splintered off my leg, every time I was running, I was making
Oh.
that pull back out, and the split was
Oh.
possibly getting worse and worse. So
Oh.
yeah, so when the orthopedic surgeon saw it just before London and said he shouldn't even be weight bearing, let alone running on it, that was probably because it did look quite bad. But I hadn't got a clue what it looked like until last week when he actually showed me the X-ray, where you can
Yeah.
physically see a big line. And obviously, stress fractures don't normally show up on X-rays. You normally
Yeah.
have to have a what's called an MRI to see a stress
Mm.
fracture. So the fact you could see it as such a dark black line through my bone it must have meant it was quite bad.
So
But
is it like sort of scar tissue now? Is that what it is? Is it like,
well, on the new
what?
X-ray, that line wasn't there at all, and
Right.
basically, you could see
It's-
like where that is on the edge. There was like a build-up of white all the way along the thing, and where the crack was, that white had disappeared. But now that on my last X-ray, that crack isn't there, and there's a thick line of white around the edge. So obviously the
Right.
bone has started to heal itself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's pulled back together, fused, and then started to build its like edge again. So
Silly question, but is it a myth about calcium and kids having milk, or is that just an incentive to get kids to drink
well,
milk? Like,
yeah, I think it was
what?
partly incentive to get kids to drink milk, but calcium is what makes your bones stronger because
Yeah.
it's the calcium deposit that is that white.
So
I think
did
on
did
the
they
edge
did
of your
they
bone.
ever mention anything about nutrition or anything you could eat or drink that would supplement
No,
recovery? Or
they
no?
haven't said
So
anything. No.
no, no. Just drink about 12 gallons of milk a day.
Yeah, yeah. I might do that, but I'll do it in the form of ice cream instead. I just didn't eat 12 gallons of ice cream instead. That'd be do
That's
the same with it.
that's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what else is calcium in? I don't really know.
Um.
What cal?
Well, anything dairy is calcium.
Oh, is
So
it?
cheese, because calcium comes from milk, doesn't it? So
Hmm.
anything dairy would be full of calcium.
Smell my
So
cheese, your mother.
so yogurt and all that sort of stuff as well would be really good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna search. What should I search?
You're going to search. What
Food.
should I search?
Yeah, food high in calcium. It just says dairy products like milk, yogurt, and cheese. Oh, as well as some leafy green vegetables like kale and collard greens, canned
Ah.
sardines and salmon,
Hmm.
and calcium fortified foods such as soy milk and orange juice.
Right.
So
Yeah. Big strong bones.
yeah. So yeah. So basically, it's more or less healed. So I can, once I'm all healed up from this coming Saturday, I can.
Well, I thought of you the other day because I was looking on the official. I know we keep talking about it, and you'll keep rolling your eyes. And here goes another one on the official Oasis Instagram.
Yeah.
They uploaded some photos of there because they're at Wembley at the moment, and they
Yes.
uploaded some awesome black and white photos of the crowd, of them, of just things like that. But the one that really got me, and I thought, oh, Brett will like that. Look at this. Look what someone's done to their boot. I thought Brett would enjoy that.
That's amazing.
So they've got someone's obviously in a boot, and they've got some like Tipex or some white paint, and they've just drawn 3 white stripes onto the black boot.
That's
So they've got
amazing.
an Adidas boot on. That's pretty rock and roll. I like that.
That's amazing.
But look how hand drawn they are. That's amazing. They didn't even use a ruler or anything. It was brilliant.
Yeah, my nephew's got some of the Oasis Adidas collaboration clothing. It looks quite nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty cool, isn't it? And they've always worn Adidas stuff, and it's just. I hate to say you're right, but it's a cool brand, isn't it? It is a cool brand. And some of the pieces that I've seen over the years, I think I once saw Bob Marley was he wearing a Jamaica tracksuit once, but instead of the Adidas logo, it was like a ganja leaf or something.
Mhm.
They just do some amazing collaborations with musicians, don't they?
Yeah, and the
Adidas.
stripes were red, gold, and green, weren't they, on his
Yeah,
tracksuit?
so cool. And did you see? I think it was Sam from Light It Up who put something online the other day. I think it was some of those Y3s, Adios Pro 4s,
Uh-huh.
and the 3 stripes almost look like they've been coloured in or hand
Yeah.
drawn or something.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like their designers are good, aren't they? They do come up with some good.
Well, Y3 is a Japanese designer that collaborates with Adidas. So all of the Y3 stuff is way more expensive because it's this specific designer who has designed those colorways or those designs of those certain pieces.
Yeah. What's another thing I've seen that collaborates with Adidas a lot? Are they called something like Allbirds or something? Have you heard of that? So
Yeah.
who's that?
I've got a pair of Allbird shoes.
Yeah.
So Allbirds are a completely separate company,
Yeah.
but they do make running shoes, but they also make casual shoes, which are eco-friendly and use sustainable materials and stuff like that.
I
And they
see.
did a collaboration on some Adidas shoes because Adidas have their Parley, like what would you call it, collection or area of their stuff. And Parley, do you know what Parley is?
No.
So Parley is like sea and beach plastic. So it's plastic that's been collected from the beach or from the sea that they then recycle into their clothing or shoes. So anything that you see with Parley written on of Adidas is made from recycled plastic that's been collected from the beach or from the sea.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. I know a lot of brands are doing that, or saying they're doing that. Whether they actually are doing it, I don't know.
Yeah.
Everyone can say they're doing it, but I know I've seen certain brands. Maybe it is Adidas that I've worn before, and it says contains 60% recycled materials or something like that. So I've seen some brands that have said that before. So
yeah, actually, I'm going to go and see if I can find my Allbird shoes because they're apparently a pair of running shoes, but I just bought them for casual because I quite liked them.
What are they, quite like garish, or are they not very functional as running shoes, or a bit of both? Brilliant, he's gone. I don't know if he heard that. He's just gone into his vault to get his Allbirds. I do like the idea of him having a stock room with like floor to ceiling high shoe boxes, all color coded, casual running. Yeah, I would say don't know if there'll be any other shoes than that. Don't think he'd have any other genre of shoes. I can imagine him even having brogues with 3 stripes on them. All right, this sounds promising. I heard a box opening and closing then. No, is he struggling?
I'm struggling.
Hang on. He's struggling?
Yeah, can't find them. I don't know.
Oh, no.
Oh, found them.
Oh, he's got him. He's got him. Such a pointless segment on this podcast when you realise that majority of our listeners listen to this and not watch it. And
Exactly that. Exactly that.
We'll have to describe it.
But these are the Allbirds felt runners.
They're not running shoes.
I know, exactly, but they're called the felt runners. They're comfy, really comfy, but I wouldn't want to run in them. But they're made from felt.
Oh my God.
So like
they're like a proper boot shape, aren't they?
Yeah. But
what's the sole feel like?
I mean, there's a bit of like proper sole rubber at the front and the back, and then that's midsole there. And the midsole, it's not the softest of midsoles, but they're really comfy as daily shoes. So I bought them for working in and stuff.
They're pretty cool. How often do you wear them?
Not very often. I've got far too many pairs of shoes, so they're part of my casual rotation. Whereas all my running shoes and my running rotation, these are the casual rotation.
And they're towards the bottom of that pile. They're pretty nice though.
Yeah, they're all right. You can get away with them being like a bit more, not dressy up shoes, but a bit more business than casual.
Yeah. No one's running in them, surely.
No.
You can't run in them. No. But anyway, shall we move on? Should we actually talk about some things that we wanted to talk about?
Yes.
So where shall we start?
Oh, that was the other thing. Sorry, moving on from my leg. The reason we're recording Thursday this week rather than Friday is 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. I'm going in to have my hernia surgery. See that? I can't even say it because I'm that nervous about it. Can't even say it. I'm having my hernia surgery on Saturday. So
there's no guarantee we will have finished the podcast by the time you go.
Exactly. So if we'd have recorded Friday night, there's no way it was going to come out because we'd be recording till midnight and then So we're doing it a day early so it can actually come out on time. So have you had to just get all your work in order and try and get your life in order before? It has been the most mental last 2 weeks ever. I have done I've done probably a month's work in a week and a half.
Oh my God.
Just to try and get to the point where I can have two months off work and not struggle too much with funds. So
you haven't taken on any jobs, have you? Like a week or two ago, because you were like, I can't take any more work on.
Yeah. So all of those jobs, I was like full to the end of and the last of the stuff I needed to do, I managed to get into the post today. So I've done. So tomorrow I can prepare everything to go in basically and just sort myself out.
Well, can I show one of the recent jobs you've done? Is this bad boy? I'm loving wearing this. And again, I know we're on the magic of the radio, but for those of you that are watching this, I've got my new Obi-Wan. I can't turn around. I'll just literally turn around. I've got my track club.
Hey.
Tee on. This is good stuff. This is. I really like it.
Cheers,
really like it. And it seems like a few people have made a few orders because I've seen a few people donning some Obi-Wan merch, which is good. And I
Yeah.
really like that easy days, easy, hard days, hard shirt as well. That's
Yeah,
mega cool.
so the one that you're wearing now is like the standard tee that I use, but for the easy and
Yeah,
hard tee, I've decided to go for a more heavyweight tee, so it's
that
more of a
feels that
relaxed.
feels way more premium. That does. Not like any better than this, but like it
Yeah,
does. It feels more
yeah, it's thicker
plush.
and heavier, and yeah, it's something that you want to just lounge around in or
Oh
something
yeah,
like that to recover.
yeah. It's a really good fit as well. Because I don't know. Did you give me a medium or a small?
They're mediums, yeah.
Yeah, I think this fits me really quite well. I think I must be somewhere in the middle of small and medium at
You're
the
you're a,
moment. I'm
you're a
in
medium.
a medium. Yeah, I think I'm like in that no man's land at the moment because, but the good thing is mediums are fitting me and so are smalls, so I shouldn't really complain. But
Yeah.
I,
Or, or or as my mate used to say, I'm an extra medium.
yeah, yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm an extra medium. But yeah, this is really good stuff. So yeah, so how are you feeling ahead of Saturday?
I don't know. I'm a bit nervous.
Hmm.
I think that's mainly because I've never been into hospital for anything before. As I said a few episodes back, the only time I went in actually being admitted to hospital was when I was young and I couldn't work because I had walk because I had that weird things with my legs from tonsillitis of all things, which was
Oh
bizarre.
yes, yeah.
Um, but that's the only time I've ever been in hospital. So yeah, having surgery and having general anaesthetic for the first time and things like that, and just the thought of them sticking stuff down my throat so I can breathe whilst they're operating and stuff. I don't know.
Mm.
It's just a bit weird.
Yeah, but it is a rational, understandable fear because it's so far out of your control.
Hmm.
You know, it's like I guess it's like with some people have like a fear of flying because it's so far removed from how from
Yeah,
feeling how a conscious life feels.
yeah,
They literally can't control anything, so therefore they just feel completely panicked. But if it's anything like the keyhole surgery I had done with my appendix years ago, you might feel slightly, I don't know, tender 2 or 3 days after. But I wonder if your fitness will play a big part in your recovery because
hopefully, yeah.
yeah,
But
because you're a fit version of yourself. Fingers crossed, you'll recover well.
yeah. See, I've got to the point now where I've got to have it done. There's no question because I am in quite a bit of pain with it quite often. I mean,
Yeah.
when I'm rolling over in bed, I've got quite a bit of pain there. It's constantly bulged, so I'm having to. I don't know. This sounds lovely. I'm having to push it back in constantly. Um, and I noticed, obviously not last week, but the week before, we did the pod and it went for 2 hours. And I realised that sitting in this chair at the end, I hadn't pushed it back in before I sat down, and it had been clamped on it. So when I stood up, man, I had the worst pain down in my groin ever because
Oh
it
no.
was obviously just pinching and just for
Ooh.
the 2 hours that we were on the pod. So yeah, it's got to the point now where it's it needs to be done. So I've just got
Mm.
to go and get it done.
Yeah. And I think that's it. You just think ahead, forget the next week, forget the next few days. In a couple of days, forget from Wednesday onwards, you'll be pretty much right as rain. And I think you will make a better recovery than you may be worried about as well. Because obviously you've mentioned that your dad has had a similar
Yeah, he had hernia
operation.
surgery 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah, like father, like son. And he's doing well by all accounts,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
he?
yeah. No, he's doing good. Yeah, he's up and about now, and doing more than he should be doing. But
Hmm. Well, that's exactly what's going to, in 2 weeks' time, that's exactly what the conversation we'll be having. You'll be like, yeah, I've just been on a 20-mile run and it was a bit sore, but I got it done.
Yeah, no, I am going to take it serious, and I've cancelled my gym membership for August and September, so I won't be going to the gym and doing anything over that period. And I'm going to ask the surgeon or the nurse afterwards how long I've got to wait before I can walk, and what I'm going to try and do is just slowly get into some walking during my recovery phase. So when I start running, I've built up that, like, not pounding on my legs, but I've done something where I've got a little bit of impact and I'm building up a little bit of cardio before I start running, and rather than it just being a big shock straight away, getting straight back into running, I want to slowly build up the amount that I'm walking and stuff, go and get some fresh air that way.
Yeah, because you'll be craving it over the next few weeks, won't you? So yeah, are you going to have a couple of weeks off, did you say, from the shop as well?
Yes, yeah. Well, I'm not allowed to work. Well, I say I'm not allowed to work. I'm not allowed to screen print until October anyway.
October?
So he said basically 6 to 8 weeks, no running, no screen printing, no nothing like that. Anything that could put pressure on there again. So basically that's why I've had to work my butt off to try and bring in enough to cover me for the next couple of months.
Oh wow, we need to.
My hands and my brain will still work, so I'm still going to do some design work, and I'm still going to do some leather work and stuff like that. But I can't do any printing.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Oh god, this is going to be quite a lifestyle shift, I imagine, isn't it? But but the podcast might be actually quite useful to keep track of it, because one day you'll listen back to it maybe in a few years and think, did I really just not do any printing for 3 months or whatever? Yeah.
I know.
It's something you do 6 days or 7 days a week. So it's going to be strange, but you'll be fine. You'll be good.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. I've made my peace with it. I know. I've got to do it properly. Otherwise, I don't want to risk the fact that it could happen again, or that it goes backwards. So do it once, do it properly, do it right, and then you haven't got to worry about it, have you?
Yeah. So. Well, yes, best of luck with it on Saturday. I'm sure it will go well. And just an avalanche of YouTube videos will probably be coming your way. So I'm quite looking forward to making my series for you, because you'll probably...
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it.
Yeah,
I've still got my feet up and... But running news-wise, I don't know if you know of any events or races that have happened recently or are coming up. But
didn't you say something like British Champs?
Yes. So that is this weekend in Birmingham at the
what events will that be?
Stadium. So that's all track and field. So all athletics. It's the Athletics Champs, which will be the qualifiers, more or less. Britain does it a little bit differently to everyone else with their champs. So a lot of places like America, for their champs, it is you race champs, and if you come top 2 or 3, you go to the world champs. And that's it. It's just that clear cut. Whereas the UK, you could get top 3 in the British champs and still not go to worlds, because somebody who's got a better time from a few months ago gets put in the place instead. So
you could not even race in British champs and go to worlds, apparently, couldn't you?
Yeah.
That's happened before, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's interesting that, because they take into consideration times and results previous or maybe post British champs before the world champs to decide on who's going. So they do encourage people to race British champs, but it's not clear cut that if you qualify in the qualifying places at British Champs. It's not guaranteed that you're definitely going to go. But yeah, but there's going to be some good racing. That I have seen though. Obviously, George Mills is out of British Champs because he broke his wrist when he fell.
Yeah.
At the London Diamond League. So he's had pins and plates and all sorts put into his wrist to fix it. So he's in a sling at the moment. So he won't be running British Champs. And then today I also saw Jake Whiteman is out of British Champs. So he's been struggling for the last 5 days with an illness. So he said once again, for the second year running, he's not going to be able to run British Champs, which is annoying because he was on his comeback. He was running well. So
is it I don't know if I've said this before in the podcast, probably have. Is Jake Whiteman the guy whose dad is a commentator for the BBC?
Yes.
And he, not famously, but there was a really nice moment a few years ago when he beat Jakob, I think.
Yeah. So
and
the year before Josh Kerr won the World Champs, Jake Whiteman won it.
And he was commentating, wasn't he? His dad. He
Yes.
was like, "Go on, son, go on." Yeah.
But Jeff Whiteman, who's his dad, said he had to be really professional, so he couldn't get overexcited that his son was about to become world champion. He had to commentate on it as if it was just two people he wasn't related to. So it just like a normal race. And it was after the race that he was then allowed to show his emotions and show that he was happy about it. But it was pretty cool.
Because that was a hell of a run. Was that when he kicked Jakob right at the end of that race?
So with about 200 to go. But he basically paved the way for Josh Kerr to do exactly the same the next year.
Yes, because that's it. It happened twice in a year to Jakob, didn't it? Yeah.
So Jakob still hasn't won the world. He's still not won a world title at the 1500 meters because of Jake Whiteman and Josh Kerr, and then obviously the Olympics. So Jake Whiteman with about 200 meters to go went round him on the outside and then just kicked for home and out sprinted him on the last 100 meters, and then Josh Kerr did exactly the same. I rewatched that actually the other night on YouTube. I rewatched Josh Kerr's gold medal at the Worlds from 2023. It was nice. Yeah. Just to hype me up for some of the races coming up. It was good. But I'm hopefully, you never know, Josh Kerr might get his world gold back because Jakob still hasn't made his debut for the year. So he still hasn't raced at all this year because he's been out with his injury.
Yeah. I wonder how much the Copenhagen half had to do with that.
Yeah, but he's training and he's now at altitude training. Jakob is, so he's obviously getting back to full fitness. But being at full fitness and being race ready is very different, because if you don't race, you can get quite rusty on the racing tactics side of it. Actually, racing against people keeps you sharp. So you can be the fastest person ever and you could be stupidly faster than everyone in the field. But if you're not up to shape in the racing side of it, you're still going to get beaten. So
I remember, just on a side note, do you remember, can you believe it's been a year since the Olympics already? We were talking about our Olympic picks, and what was it? Ray Gunn and the Turkish shooter guy and all that sort of stuff. But do you remember, was it the 5,000 meters we watched? No, it would have been the 10,000, I think. And the men went through 5,000 in about 15 minutes or something like that. 40, which is fast, but but it's like it was a slow race because they were. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? They were racing it, not it's that kind of thing, isn't it? It's like the ability to race a race Must
Yeah.
be.
It always makes me laugh because when you hear commentators and they go, oh, they've gone out for this 1500 meters at pedestrian pace. Oh, they are going slow, and they're running like 65-second laps, and they're going,
First lap
they're
58.
jogging.
Yeah. But a year since the Olympics.
Yeah, but
Crazy stuff.
Josh Kerr for the British champs, because he's got a bye, so he doesn't need to run the 1500 meters because he's current world champion. So he's in the world champs no matter what.
Yeah.
He's running the 5,000 meters at British champs.
Is he?
Mm.
That'll be interesting to watch. And where is it? At the Alexander Stadium?
Yeah, Alexander Stadium. Yeah.
On Saturday and Sunday, or just Saturday?
I think it's both days. I think, if I'm right.
Yeah. And would that maybe be on BBC iPlayer or something? Will it be streamable?
I would think that British Athletics will probably stream it on their YouTube, but I don't know about TV. I'm not sure.
Yeah. It's the Diamond League that's always on iPlayer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that might be quite interesting to have a look at the cards and see who's racing and what times and stuff, especially if it's at UK times. It could be, I'm sure there'll be some good races.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if you know of any other events or anything happening, or
no. It seems to be all quiet this time of year, doesn't it? July and August seem to be.
It's when everyone goes on holiday, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of races coming up. I've got Timbahonga 10K at the end of August.
Oh yes.
But there's a 5K that I've done twice in a row around the river in Worcester, and I just don't think I'll be fit enough to really give it a go, because that's coming up in about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. So
is that the one where friend of the podcast Mac chased you for the whole race last year?
That's the one. Yeah. But it's a good one. I don't know. I might enter that. Also, there's run through, do a couple in August, including the Solihull, which is quite a popular one around these here parts. So maybe I might enter the half or the 10. But I was on Goldie on the guitar last week.
Oh yes,
yes.
I did hear that.
So I could use my my code. It's like, how everybody says when I could get this if I was just sat watching this at home. When you get asked the questions, it's so hard.
Yeah,
I can't even get that Reservoir Dogs.
You always answer all the questions on the quiz shows, and you go, "How can they not know that? How are they getting that wrong?"
Yeah.
But when you're in the moment, it's
when the pressure's on,
isn't it?
Yeah, that was But so maybe Solihull, maybe potential, but I think I'll probably save myself a half marathon season in September. I've got a couple, so I've got the Great North Run, I've got Worcester Half, which I haven't booked yet, which will be my 2 that I'll be really, really looking forward to.
Yeah,
and thinking about it, it's just them 2.
Are you going to race Great North Run this year?
Well, they're one after the next, so I think I will probably do something like a attempt a negative split, or do a bit of race pace in the second half of it, maybe. And then the week after, I might sort of try and.
So are you going to target Worcester again as your?
I think so.
Attempt rather than Great North Run.
Well, I mean, for a starter, it's an easier course. Worcester is pretty flat, and we both PB'd it last year, didn't we?
Yeah.
And it's a bit twisty and turny, but it's one of them. It's like, well, I know every corner, I know every turn, I know every bit of tarmac and gravel that was on that course, so I should be able to run well. So yeah, I think it would make sense not to completely burn myself out the week before at Great North Run.
Yeah,
because that weekend is just exhausting enough anyway, with all the travelling to get up there. So yeah, I think it'll probably just be a case of get the Great North Run done, enjoy it, but maybe push a bit harder second half, and then hopefully do the business in Worcester. So whether I'll do the 90 or not, I'm not sure, but that's what I'll be going for.
Cool. So, next, would you like to tell us all about your adventure over last weekend, or should we go through the final week of the Parkrun in the Red Line Challenge?
Let's do that, because you shared with me the spreadsheet and I was watching you input the results, and it is amazing. Some of the results from last week were mind blowing. So yeah, I think we should do our Parkrun segment next.
Right. Okay. So, therefore, it is time for mate Parkrun in the Red Line
for the last time.
I know. I reckon we should do it again, shouldn't we? It's been such a good success that I think we should do it again.
Yeah, and we can do it bigger. We can do it better next year. But this has been awesome, and the best feedback I've heard is that people have just been maybe thinking that they didn't really know what to do with their summer because, like I was saying, they're in between training blocks, and they use this as the perfect example just to focus on something short and sharp, for the summer. And it was the perfect example for a lot of people to do really, 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 really well.
Yeah.
So and everyone's done well in their own right, but some people have done exceptionally well.
Yes, very much so. So, for week 6, and just in week 6, everybody obviously saved their best till last, because in week 6 we had 11 PBs. So there was one person who PB'd who didn't even make the top 10 of week 6.
That's the level. It's crazy.
Which is, amazing. And so I know I normally just do top 5 for like the weekly ones, but this week, because of that many PBs in the last week, I'm going to do top 11. So all 11 people that PB'd on week 6. So in 11th place was Matthew Morris with -8 seconds. So he got
beat his
new
week
PB.
1.
Yeah, so managed to knock another second off his week 1 PB.
Oh, well done, mate.
10th was Gaz Barker with -12.
Well done, mate.
9th was Tom Ellerton with -15. 8th was Steve Hobson with -20. Now, I will say that was a PB against his pre-Parkrun in the Red Line PB, but he was 2 seconds off last week's time.
So he did 18:08 the week before.
Yeah, so he actually ran faster last week, but he still got PB on his Parkrun in the Red Line PB. 7th was James Clifton with -40. 6th was one of the most consistent competitors in Parkrun in the Red Line, and that is Martin Maguire, who once again PB'd with -47 seconds.
Amazing.
In 5th was somebody who joined you on the end of week 3, after he had achieved this monumental thing of running a sub 8. Was it sub 18?
19.
Sub 19. Yeah, he went into the 18s, didn't he? He ran his first ever sub 19, and that was Alex Bodin with -54 seconds.
Super Al. That's amazing.
Amazing. Then in 4th was somebody who equaled their PB the other week. And that must have been gutting to get exactly the same time as your competition PB. But this week, in week 6, he managed to knock a full minute off his PB. So 60 seconds. So in 4th was Peter Chadwick.
Well done.
And then in 3rd was somebody who left it till the last week to even go and run any park runs at all. So didn't run on weeks 1 to 5, comes along on week 6 and smashes 72 seconds off his PB. And that is in 3rd, Mark Mystery Burton.
Well in, Mark. That's amazing.
In 2nd was Alex's brother, Adam Bodin, who managed to improve again on a PB that he'd already set during the challenge. But this time he improved it massively and knocked 113 seconds, nearly 2 minutes off his PB.
That's massive. The week before, he did 71 seconds under.
Yeah.
Then he goes and done 113. That's crazy.
Yeah. So that's awesome. But then in 1st is someone who, again, left it till the 5th week to run any park runs at all and smashed his PB by 109 seconds last week, but goes out again on week 6 and smashes even more of his PB. And that is Carl Bennett with minus 154 seconds. So that is 2 minutes and 34 seconds off his pre-challenge PB.
That's nearly a minute quicker than the week before. That's amazing.
So, yeah, that is incredible. So that is our top 11 from week 6, which means our final leaderboard has a total of 16 people who have broke their PB at least once during the challenge.
That's
so
amazing.
For before this final week, go on.
I was going to say, before you do that, can I just read out a few people that got full Monties? That did 6 out of 6.
Some honourable mentions of people who did all 6 parkruns. One name that won't be on there because he left it a bit long to actually reach Pitchcroft is somebody called Andy Maguire.
I did actually get to Pitchcroft. It's just I got there at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And by the time I got
there, late for Parkrun.
And by the time I got there, I didn't really fancy doing 2 laps of the race course. So Craig Brooks, he did a full Monty. He did all 6. So well done, mate. We've got Peter Chadwick. He did all of them as well. And we've got, it looks like Kieran Deegan did it as well. Kieran is a parkrun, and he's a stalwart of Worcester.
And Kieran did all 6, and he just let himself down on the last week because he slowly got faster every single week. But then his 6th week was a bit slower.
Oh, he did as well. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Then moving on to Mark Griffiths. Looks like he did all 6 as well. Well done, mate. I did 5. That doesn't count, does it? Max McCall. Well done, mate. And we've got Martin Maguire. We know that because he just basically just smashed it week on week.
He did get faster every week, apart from his first 2 weeks were exactly the same time. Other than that, he got faster every single week.
Matt Morris, who was very, very consistent.
Yes, he was.
Most weeks we're talking single figures away from his PB, so that's very, very consistent. 4 out of 6 weeks he was single figures, which is really, really, really good. And 2 out of the weeks he got PBs, so amazingly well done. Kaylee Pickersgill, absolutely, what a legend! She did all 6, so well done, Kaylee. And the last one was Rick Taylor. So amazing. Well done to all of you that got a full Monty. Did 6 out of 6.
And thank you so much for getting involved.
Yeah, thanks.
But yeah, our leaderboard, I'm going to go through the top 16 on the final leaderboard. because all 16 of these people all achieved PBs during the challenge, which is incredible. So in 16th place was Will Ford with -2 seconds, and every second counts, Will. So PB is a PB. Amazing work. In 15th was Mark Griffiths with -4 seconds.
Job well done.
In 14th was Gaz Barker with -12. In 13th was Max McCall with -13. In 12th was Tom Ellerton with -15. 11th was Erica Donkin with -19, which means you had to get -22 or better to get into the top 10.
That's fast.
Which is amazing. So in 10th was Steve Hobson with -22. 9th was Harrison Bean with -27. 8th, James Clifton with -40. 7th, Martin Maguire with -47. 6th was Alex Bodin with -54.
These numbers are getting crazy now.
I know. And then for the top 5, you have to have run at least a minute under your PB before the challenge. So 6 weeks ago, your PB needed to be at least a minute slower than what you've run by the end of the challenge. So in 5th was Peter Chadwick with -60. In 4th was Mark Mystery Burton with -72. And then we have our podium, our top 3. In 3rd place was Chris Dorr with a amazing effort of -108 seconds.
Well done, Chris. I saw Chris's video on that when he got his PB with Sam around Pitchcroft. He absolutely leathered it around Pitchcroft. So, congratulations, Chris. That was a hell of a run. Well done, mate.
And Sam was supposed to be pacing him a little bit slower than
27.
But there we go. In 2nd place and taking the silver is Adam Bodin with -113 seconds.
Well done, mate.
And then in top spot, taking the gold and the top of the podium is Carl Bennett with -154 seconds.
Wow. What a roller coaster of a 6 weeks that has been.
Yeah.
That's been a
lot
of fun.
Changed on the leaderboard. It's changed every single week, and it's been incredible to watch and see everybody's results come in at the end of each week. It's been fun putting that spreadsheet and all the results together.
And Carl, a very worthy winner, because before he came into this, it looks like it was 27:35, and he got his parkrun down to 25:01. So, I mean, that's a very worthy winner right there.
Yeah, incredible. So, Carl, you are the first ever winner of our Parkrun in the Red Line challenge. So you will receive the coveted Parkrun in the Red Line mug, which will be adorned with the logo and your Parkrun time and date of your PB and the course where you achieved it. So I will get that mug printed and out to you as soon as possible.
As soon as you've done a urine test.
Exactly that. Yeah.
We just got to check you're not on the EPO, and then you will send out your mug.
Exactly. So if you can forward us your drugs test results, and no, in all seriousness, please bear with me, because obviously I'll be out of action for a few days after this, but I will get it to you as soon as possible. So yeah, get in touch and let us know your address to get it sent out to, and we will get it out to you. But during the challenge, I did say, and I promised, that I would create a little memento for everybody who managed to achieve a PB. So that means there are 15 more people who will receive a prize from this year's Parkrun in the Red Line. So if all of those 15 people, other than Carl, obviously Carl is going to get in touch, but the other 15 people that I read out their names on the final leaderboard who got a PB, if you can get in touch with us, whether that's by email or over Instagram, and let us know your address to send your prize out to, I will get those out to you as soon as I possibly can. But yes, as I say, please bear with me. It won't be stupidly fast, but I'll do it as fast as I possibly can.
Well, I think that was a pretty exciting 6 weeks. So
it's been amazing, isn't it?
I think we can almost guarantee we'll be back this time next year, won't we? Yeah. If not sooner, to do another challenge. But we won't overcommit ourselves, because we might not be able to do it. But I think definitely one challenge a year like this would be a lot of fun. So
yeah, definitely. So yeah, thank you so much to everybody who got involved, all 50 of you who put your names forward to get involved in the challenge. And you never know, there might be even more numbers next year. If we can get our viewership back and our listenership back after I tanked it last week, if we can try and get the numbers back up, we might get a few more next year.
Yeah, cool.
So after that epic, amazing conclusion to our challenge, we now need to hear about your epic adventure that you went on last week.
Well, to save me waffling, shall I invite some questions from the panel? Do you want to just ask me some questions rather than me spend about a week talking about day one and then realize I've still got 4 days to go?
Yeah. Okay. Right. So talk us through planning the event. Okay. So obviously in the days running up to going to the source of the 7, you will have needed to have planned a route, planned your meeting points to meet up with Laura. You will need to have planned your gear and everything that you were going to take with you. So talk us through the thoughts and the ideals you had, and whether it actually became reality and went the way you thought it was going to, up to the point where you started that ultra challenge.
Well, to get up to the source, when I first got there, I was feeling really kind of blasé about it, and I think it was because it wasn't an event. And then it hit me the day before, and I thought, I feel a bit unprepared now, because I hadn't done a few things, which I'll talk about. But yeah, so to start with the route. So I'd got a vague idea of the route, and the route actually follows a national trail called the 7 Way. Now, this is not exclusively a river route, which you will see maybe if you watch the videos down the line, because of, well, what I assume is wild terrain or landslides, or I don't know, all sorts of reasons why, especially further up the river, you have to run way away from the 7. So having a GPX file, I thought, would be a non-negotiable. So And for those of you that don't know what that means, a GPX file is like it's like a sat nav for your watch, but it's like an offline sat nav. So, when you're on your sat nav and you're connected to your 4G, you go the wrong way down the road. It says, well, if you just turn left and left again, you'll be back en route. Mine doesn't do that because it's offline. I've got one route, and if I don't follow it, it's my responsibility to get myself back on it. Now,
Right.
I found there's a website called fkt.com. And
Yes.
I don't know what a bloke like me is doing hanging around that website, because FKT means fastest known time. Now, I looked on the website because the good thing about fkt.com is it's got lots of long distance trails like the Pennine Way or the Cotswold Way or anything that ends with way. And you can download these GPX files for free. Now, I didn't realize until I got running that I was at the mercy of this thing on my wrist. And if it's wrong, I could be in trouble, but I didn't really realize how good or bad that would be. And I then cross-referenced it with a website that I heard about, which I was really grateful that I did, called GPX Studio. Now, what you can do sounds complicated, but you can get your download from the website and you can pop it into GPX Studio, and it opens into a map along, and you can zoom in on places.
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing about it was you can tweak it. So you can go, I'll go this way or I'll go that way. Or if you want to zoom in, so you can look at sort of Google Earth as well. And you can see, that's a road, or, that's a footpath or whatever. The good thing about it was I was able to split it into 4 sections, because at the time I wanted to do a 4-day run. So I split it into 4, what I thought at the time were manageable sections to do over 4 days. And I split it up into don't know the mile equivalents, but it's around about, imagine 80 miles is 50K, other way around, 80K is 50 miles. I wanted to do 88K first day, 93K second day. Can't believe I'm saying this words out loud. Third day, 78, fourth day, 77. And I got the watch, I got the route, was happy with that. And then I started zooming in on the route because I chunked everything into 4 days. So then I thought, well, okay, well, if it's an average of 80K a day, we'll do six pit stops, something like that. And that'll be every 10K-ish.
Yeah.
Because obviously for the start to the first checkpoint would be 10K, and then 6 of them should take me to or maybe a 7th if we added a 7th in. And then I literally hand wrote them down, and I would write the distance between. So for example, here would be the source. The next one here is the town of Llanidloes, and that's 18 kilometers in. So that's my first. I thought, well, I'm 18K. It's all downhill. Don't need a stop before then. That turned out to be a good decision. Next one after that was the Red Lion in Kersus. That was 12 kilometers later. And the next one after that was Newtown, and that was 16 kilometers. So you get the picture. So I was trying to keep them between 10 and 15-ish K.
Yeah.
Nothing longer than 20K, because as you get tireder, 20K becomes a lot further than it did earlier on in the day. So 15-ish K is what we'd be aiming for. And then kit-wise, I had so many comments on my Pitchcroft video saying, I can't believe you run with that bag bouncing around like that. What are you playing at? And because I filmed a lot of it in slow motion, it probably looked worse than it was. But I didn't realize that maybe I'm, I don't know, a bit big for it, a bit small for it now. And so I thought I might need a new bag here. So I went on to, have you heard of Harrier, the trail running company? I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but I bought a new running vest, and it was probably the purchase of the week, of the whole trip. It was so comfortable, so breathable, 10 liters. The storage, there was pockets everywhere. Such a good purchase. So really, really good, really pleased with that. And in the bag, I thought I'm going to risk it. I'm going to take 2 items of clothing that I think are going to be essentials. Turns out I didn't need either of them. First one was leggings. because the amount of nettles and overgrowth I ran through. And the second one was a waterproof jacket. Luckily, didn't need either of them. Carried them the whole way because, you know,
Yeah,
you
just
never,
in case.
you never know. Yeah. Then I've got a first aid kit, which I always carry with me. I don't think I've ever even opened it. It's got plasters and a little bit of what's that, alcohol rub gel stuff if you need to do anything like that. It's just a basic first aid kit, so I've got that in there, and a few other bits and bobs. I've got my power bank, which turned out to be a brilliant purchase. And do you remember? Len. Do you remember Lynn's comment?
Yeah,
I bought this.
Yes, excellent.
This thing was maybe actually might even trump the running bag, because this thing was what made me keep running. Because if you're anything like me and you're a massive procrastinator, you look at one option and then you look at another one and you look at another one and you think, I'm further away now than when I started as to what to buy. So I was going to go and buy a new watch, but instead I bought this thing that just sits underneath the watch, and it's USB powered. Don't know if you can see that. So that meant the power bank could charge the watch. If I lose it's game over. If I lose the GPS file, if I lose watch battery, I'm at the mercy of the elements. I don't know which way I'm going because it's so hard to follow the trail.
So what's the connection like on that? Because I know we were talking the other week, weren't we, about how bad the charging cables are on running watches when you plug it in and it doesn't quite start charging until you wobble it and hold it in exactly the right angle and stuff. What's the connection like on that?
Rapid. Such a hard lockdown. It's like, you know when you watch like a space film and you see like a docking in space. It was just like that. It was a perfect like whatever this is called, doctor watch. It was really, really good. So bought that, really pleased, because I use this twice a day, every day. And I charge my watch charges this, or my power bank charge my watch in about 45 minutes to half an hour, from sort of 5% right up to 100% in, say, 45 minutes. So I had to do that sort of twice a day, but it was obviously worth it. Nice. And then food-wise, Laura and I just went shopping, just bought loads of, basically, sounds terrible, I'm the worst ultra runner ever. I just bought loads of my favourite food. Good. I just bought loads of crisps, loads of cheese sandwiches, loads of wraps, loads of donuts, loads of Coke, loads of croissants, loads of squashes, loads of Haribo, just all that stuff, because I know I'm not going to eat a high five gel. I'm just not. No. I'm not going to want to fancy a Voom bar. I didn't have one Voom bar, and I just had that sort of, that's the stuff I was eating, and that's what I was grazing on. And because I knew, and you know, don't you know yourself, and you know what you're going to crave and what you're going to want, whether it's good for you or not. That's another matter. It's about survival, really. So we went and got loads of food in, and another really good thing we bought was a cool bag. Got some freezer bags in there, and everything stayed really cold all weekend, which is great. Nice. And we bought 2 5-litre bottles of water, and 3 out of the 5 days we stayed at home, which was really handy. So what we do is we'd get home, and where the hose pipe is outside, we'd obviously disconnect that and just stick the bottle underneath it and refill both the big 5-litre bottles, and then they're ready to go for the next day.
Nice.
So that was the prep, really.
Good. So with as you said, you stayed at home for 3 of the days.
Yeah.
Where did you stay for the others?
So the first night, the night before we set off, and the night of the first to second night, we stopped in close to a town called Welshpool, which is basically at the end of day 1. And we stayed in like a hobbit house. That's what we kept calling it. It was in the middle of nowhere. It was on like a farm, and it was like this. It was the shape of like imagine a shipping container. Yeah. But it was like built into the hill. Can't really explain it. And the frontage of it was all like AstroTurf, but they'd made it look like the side of the hill, if you know what I mean. And it looked like we were in Hobbiton. It was a really cool place. And inside there was like a nice double bed at one end. Then there was a kitchen in the middle with the double doors when you come and go from. And at the other end was the bathroom. There was a shower, with good water pressure and everything, even though we're in the middle of nowhere. And it was a perfect little pit stop. And it was ideal. Yeah. And it was, turns out it was an hour drive to the start of day one. Now, this did put us on the back foot a little bit because we didn't realize quite how far. We weren't concentrating how far it was to the start of day one. We were thinking more how close it is to the end of day one.
The end, yeah.
And the start of day two. But we forgot to take into account that it was an hour to get to the start of day one. And then I've got an hour hike to the start.
Did you stay there for after day two as well?
No, only after day one. So the night before.
Yeah, and then after day one.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. And was that a Laura find for that?
Yeah, she's pretty good when it comes to all those kind of accommodation stuff. So we took a bit of a risk on it because it didn't have many reviews, and we've got like an unwritten rule where we need at least like 10 reviews before we'll stay somewhere. And it only had 3 or 4, but we were like, yeah, we like the look of it. It seems genuine. It's on the map. It's on Google Maps. So we're pretty sure that it exists. So, we took a punt on it and it was a good decision.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
So on day one then, what time did you leave your Hobbit house to make it to the source? Because obviously, as you said, there was an hour's drive. What time were you hoping to start, and what time did you actually start?
Well, I wanted to be. We were just half an hour running over already, which sounds bad, but it was just so hard to stay on time for anything this weekend. We got in the car and started rock and rolling at 5:30. I said my goodbyes to Laura at 6:30 on the car park to the start of the source, and then it took me an hour to sort of power hike to the top. It's 4 mile walk up a hill, up the side of a mountain.
So you actually did another 4 mile on top of all the mileage you did of the ultra because you walked to the start.
Well, that was my biggest day. So I nearly did 85k, 86k on the. So that would have been 53 mile on the first day. But yeah, so I knew that was coming though, so I can't really make any excuses. We'd recce'd it 3 or 4 months ago, and anyone that had an eagle eye of my Strava might have seen, oh, you're doing a lot of like River 7 stuff. Well, maybe it's just a coincidence. That's exactly why I kept running on the river and stuff like that, and visiting the source of the 7 and stuff. So we'd walked it before, so I remembered the route. It's quite well signposted, so that was good. So at least I knew where I was going. Yeah.
Cool. So the source itself, is it has it got like a monument or anything signaling that it's the source, or is it just a small source of a river with water flowing?
So it's like I don't know, 6 foot high finger post, an oak column in the middle of a sort of concrete structure. But you'll see this when I do my run, when you see the run of the video, right next door to it, and really quite dangerously, the top of that mountain called Plinlimmon is a very infamous for what's known as peat bogs. Do you know what peat bogs are?
Yeah.
These things are like crevasses climbing Everest. They're like bottomless, some of them.
Yeah.
You can slide, you can fall down them and not be able to climb out of them. So it's very important that you stay on the path.
Yeah.
And
otherwise you'd end up like the horse in Never Ending Story.
Well, I don't know that. I haven't seen that film for like since 1989, so I can't really remember that. But that could easily happen, and I don't want to be preserved like in Ireland. There are these things called bog bodies in I think it's in the mountains near I can't think where it is, the Wicklow Mountains, because the same thing happens there. And people who were like prehistoric hunter-gatherers have been perfectly preserved in this peat PEAT, and it's like it never dries out up there. And it's I'll tell you how I know this, right? Laura and I did a recce in April. We went up to the source. We got some pictures, and then all of a sudden we saw a couple coming up, and all of a sudden we heard a scream from me to the front door away. Looked, and this woman was up past her hip. She'd fallen about 2.5, 3 foot down because she'd trodden six inches over the edge of the.
Wow.
Yeah. So all that you have to direct you here are like 3 or 4 6-inch wooden posts, because the rest of it is obscured by like surface water. So you just have to hope that what you're treading on is concrete. Because if you tread a little bit to the right or left,
at
6 o'clock in the morning, no one's coming to get you.
Yeah. Did you feel like Hoggle in the Bog of Eternal Stench?
Yeah, that's exactly what I felt like. Yeah. So it was so eternal stenchy up there. It really was. And thought I was going to see Ludo, but no, it was good because I got up there, didn't see a single person, and really nice. I wouldn't say it was a difficult hike or strenuous. Probably something like similar, like climbing up to the same gradient as, like, say, the Malverns. But I could have done without it, to be honest. But that's the only way to start the official route, is to get up there on your own and do it.
Exactly. Ace.
And I did think about recording it, but I thought, no, that's not part of the route. The route starts up there.
That's the journey to the start, not the start. Yeah. So, what time did you actually set off from the source?
Pretty much 7:30 exactly. So it took me almost exactly an hour to get up there. And so I started at 7:30, and then, as you can imagine, it's all downhill for the first half marathon, like quite hard downhill. And by this point, I've still got DOMs from the week before when I ran in Malvern, because I'd nowhere near recovered
very
enough.
Well, did you? Yeah, you didn't plan that very well.
A 4-day taper for a 200-mile run. Terrible idea. What was I thinking? And what was funny was a guy called Neil Gamble had texted me saying, randomly, I live in this little Welsh village that you're about to run through. He's like, if you're about, let me know what time you'll be passing through, and maybe I can join you. So I'm just sort of running down, this really steep downhill within the first 10K. And all of a sudden, in the middle of this Welsh village, this guy goes, all right, Andy, how's it going? So this guy called Neil had just been out doing his threshold run, and he came and did the rest of his cool down with me.
Amazing.
So because he knows the route really well, he sort of ran, I'd say, another 10K with me, and then he ran 10K home. Amazing. So he did a really long run that day, which was really nice. I was really glad of the company. And then so then I went through the first couple of towns. So I'll just quickly reel them off. So it's Caersus, Newtown, and then a place called so it's Caersus and Newtown. Now this first section here, up to 46 kilometers on the first day. So halfway through the first day, so nearly 30 mile, there was 800 meters of elevation. So what's that? 3,000 foot, 2,500 foot. For the remainder of the run, there was about 100 meters. So all the elevation of that day was in that section. And it took me 7 hours on fresh-ish legs, 6.5 hours to do a marathon. I think I was at 8 hours through 50K, and I wanted to be at 6 hours through 50K. And I already was thinking, this is going to be so hard. What have I bitten off more than I can chew?
Yeah.
And having gone through those first few checkpoints, all okay. I mean, I was feeling okay energy-wise. It was just the hills were really taken out of me. And by this point, because of the really strenuous downhill, I was getting this really bad quad pain that I mentioned to you.
Mm.
And I was thinking, I don't need this. I really don't need this. And in the back of my head, because I've got a charity thing going on as well, all I'm thinking of is, I'm going to have to DNF this. I'm going to have to tell everyone that I'm coming back next year to do it. How are they going to take it? But I got through it. I did what
Yeah.
every good runner would do and just try to ignore it and carried on.
Yeah. See, you said there was 800 meters. Did you say 800 meters of elevation?
Yeah.
So it was 800 meters up. How much was the down on that first day?
Well, double it, because I'd started. I don't know if I can tell you on Strava. I'll have to log into my Garmin, but I'm pretty sure my total loss descent for day one was about 1,800 meters, 1,700, something like that. So it was almost double, I
Yeah.
think, my ascent, and the ascent was a lot.
Yeah.
You know, the ascent was nearly 1,000 meters, which is quite a lot. So it was a pretty gruesome first day because, as we all know, running downhill isn't as pleasant as you would like it to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, but then we got through. But what happens is, shortly after halfway, you hit the canal, so that you go away from the river and you run on a canal. I'm not joking, for a marathon for about for the rest of my day one. So it was two clear.
Did that run parallel to the river, or was
Yeah.
it completely different?
It's the official 7-way. By for some reason, I don't know why. Maybe because the river's doing this. It's so windy. It's not a straight river yet. Maybe that's why. Because they look like a load of intestines basically thrown together. That's probably why they don't put a path around it. So yeah, you run on this this canal that takes you all the way to Welshpool. And by the time I got to Welshpool, the end of day one, the sun was going down. I got lost. Oh my God, I'd already got lost a few times just before Newtown. So on the hilly section, including running around in circles around a lake, which was just devastatingly, like, I was just losing the plot.
And this was the one where you went down the pontoon, wasn't it? And the pontoon just finished.
It just ran out. It was just like, I could not believe it. Because I thought what I'll do is I'll take a shortcut to save running around the outside. So not only did I get that wrong, I then had to run backwards to then run all the way around it. It was just such a weird lake. And then, we got to the last but one checkpoint. Bear in mind, I still had another section to go because my intention was to clear Wales in day one. And I should have gotten to this checkpoint at 71k, and then my watch was telling me I was at 80. So I'd already done 8.5 more k than I should have done.
Mm-hmm.
And Laura, I said to Laura would never say it to me because I think she knows me and she knows how brittle my fuse is, how quickly I can just become a little kid and start going, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be able to finish it. I don't care if it's 4 a.m. I'm going to do it. I sort of said, I'm thinking of calling it here for the day. And she's like, thank God you said that, because the next section would have been in pitch black, which would have meant less recovery time, early wake up. I'll be running miles for the sake of it. So yeah, that was the end of day one. Had a McDonald's, went back to the Hobbit house. So yes.
Right. Okay.
That was day one.
Excellent. So, how close was the house to where you finished on day one?
Fortunately, 10 minutes in the car.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah.
So you could have a bit longer in bed trying to recover after that first day before you got out.
Yeah. But the recovery wasn't the problem because, well, it was a little bit because I woke up in the morning, couldn't walk. That was a problem. But the second day, I woke up and I noticed my watch strap was hanging on by a thread, but not, but at the pinch point of where the clasp goes in. So we had to waste a bit of time waiting for shops to open. So we had to find a Tesco in Welshpool. And Laura went in to Tesco because I just genuinely couldn't walk very well. So she's like, it'll be quicker if I just do it. And she found some Gorilla Tape, which was the brilliant purchase because that's exactly what we needed, some sort of electrical tape or something like that. Because I was thinking, am I going to have to like get some, I don't know, sticky weed or something? Am I going to have to Bear Grylls this and try and piece it together, trying to hold it together? But so what we did is and it's still working to this day because I haven't got the new watch yet. But there it is. There's the black tape across the across the thing. So, and you can sort of see when it's starting to, it's starting to pull off. But yeah, so that slowed us down on day 2 to get started. But we started back at the McDonald's, and next job was to get to the first checkpoint, which is to clear Wales, which we did. And the plan was day 2 was to be on paper the biggest day of the lot, 93k. So nearly, I don't know, 55 miles, something like that. No, more, maybe it's, I don't know, can't work it out, maybe a bit more. And bear in mind, I'm 18 or 15k short of what I didn't finish from yesterday. So I'm now thinking, do I run a 108k day today to get back on level terms? Or do I maybe just add 6k over the next 3 days and then we're done?
Yeah.
Which is still a 100k day today. And to cut a long story short, Tuesday, I keep calling it Tuesday. The second day was the hardest day because the trail became so bad to follow, both on my watch and with the signposts. I kept going off route. I kept getting lost, and I kept what the worst thing was, because of the undulating nature of it, it kept knocking me back per checkpoint. So in 10Ks, instead of taking me 1 hour 20, which is what I wanted, were taking me 1 hour 40. So then if there was a longer stint, like 16K, if I was doing 10 miles, that was taking me 2.5 hours, 2 hours 15. And it was just becoming, I was just hemorrhaging time, which is the one thing I didn't have a lot of.
Weren't you finding some of the pathways were impassable as well, that the GPX route was sending you down? Some of them weren't actually walkable paths.
Well, I got to 62k, and I think it was Matt Southern that was like, because I wrote at the end of the day, I only managed 62k today. He's like, 62k, come on, give your head a wobble. But considering that I wanted nearly 20 odds more or 30 more than that, I felt like I'd really let myself and everyone else down. But the reason why I struggled so much was because the last 5k of the day, this wasn't the plan, was just jungle. And it was like my selfie stick became a machete. I was just whacking the bush with it was brilliant, so therapeutic. But one time I really genuinely scared myself. I nearly fell in the River Severn, which is not a river you want to fall in because of the amount of currents. And I was deep into Shropshire by now.
Is there any raisins in there as well?
Hang on, what do you mean by that? I don't follow.
What?
What do you mean?
Because of all the currents.
Oh, that was bad. Oh, that was so bad. It was good. That was good. Yeah, I was like, I'll laugh at that. Hang on, no, I don't get it. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was a proper dad joke. That. I was coming to this checkpoint, and on my watch, I could see. I was like, mate, this isn't a path. I can just tell this isn't a path, but I followed it anyway. And then not only did I lose the route that I thought would be a shortcut to get back onto the route became thick jungle. Then it became like a really steep riverbank. Nearly fell in the river, and I was losing my head left, right, and centre, getting cut so badly with like thorns and bracken and bamboo and getting stingers, sorry. And I was just, and then I saw Laura. By now it was 8 o'clock at night, and I was like, I'm going to have to call it. This is going to have to be a 5-day challenge now because I've lost too much time.
So you went from being in Labyrinth and the Bog of Eternal Stench to being in Predator.
Yeah, basically. Honestly, it was disgusting. Like the terrain that I was walking through on the end of day 2. I tried to film as much of it as I could. but it was impassable. But I managed to get through a wall of stingers, through a farm, up through a hayfield, and then found a road. Realized I was going the wrong. I should have been over there, but I went that way because I was like, all I need is tarmac. That's what I need now. So I found the closest road, got on it, and then I just basically ran the roadway into the closest town. So that was day 2 done. I should have done 93, but I did 62.
Where did you finish at the end of day 2?
That was a little village in Shropshire called Cressage, which I'd never heard of. And I wanted to go much further than that. In fact, I wanted to get to Ironbridge because that was the next place along.
Yeah.
But I just thought I can't do it. So then we drove home, and that was hard as well because sleeping in your own bed and having to get out of it at 5 o'clock in the morning. Then we had another hour journey to get, because I'd planned this, so I was much closer to home. I was supposed to finish in Bewdley, which is 30 minutes away, but we had to go an hour and 15 away to North Shropshire. But by the way, day 2 ran through a couple of nice places, including Shrewsbury, which is such a nice place. Day 3 was the best day of the lot. Day 3 started with me running through Ironbridge. Never been there before. That was just such a cool moment to run over the Iron Bridge and see the river really far down below you, and such a really, really, really nice town. And then, even better, from Ironbridge to Bridgnorth, have you ever heard of the Severn Valley Way? I think it's called the Severn Valley Way. It's a cycle path. So I was thinking, yes! And it goes all the way from Ironbridge to Bridgnorth, and it's about 15k. It's about nearly 10 miles.
Yeah.
And
so, I'm smirking because I was about to do another dad joke, but I decided not to.
Go on.
Yeah, I was just going to ask if the path was really angry and trying to get you all the time.
The psychopath, yeah.
No,
good. I got that one.
Yeah.
And we'll just move on. We'll move on. and then got into Bridgnorth because that section of the gravelly track was really good. And then got down to Bridgnorth. Randomly started talking to these 2 cyclists who ended up giving me some money for my charity, which was really nice.
Oh, wow.
So that was amazing. Some people, by the way, just said, "Oh, what are you doing?" Because they could see I looked tired. And so some people ended up showing an interest and donating, which was really nice. But then from Bridgnorth, which is your mum's neck of the woods, I think, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We went down to a pub called the Ship Inn, which is in Highley.
Yeah.
And that was right on the river. And that was a really nice checkpoint. And I was coming up to it, and Laura just sent me a picture of a cold, fizzy pint of Coke that she'd bought. And I was like,
yes.
And I was like, oh. So I got there and the ice had all melted. It was warm. So brilliant. And then from there, went down to Bewdley, and I'd planned to meet a couple of people and along this day. And so I thought, well, I'm not going to have a stop in Bewdley. I'm just going to press on. So the first of which was my mate I went to school with called Lee. And he ran from Bewdley to Stourport with me. And then his wife and Laura met us there, and then they went home, which was really nice. So nice to have company. And then from Stourport, I met the one and only Super Al, Alex Bodin.
Yeah.
And then Al was going to run to the Holt Fleet pub with me, which was a long stretch. That's 10 miles. But he ended up running all the way to Worcester with me. So he did he
ended up doing a half marathon with you, didn't he?
So he got to the Holt Fleet and he was like, yeah, if you fancy it, I'll come with you if you want. And I was at the point when I was thinking, do you know what? Having people with me, that thing that we always talk about is never more true on one of these long runs, is that you let yourself down before you let someone else down. I'm not going to walk if I'm with other people. I'm going to try not to as much as I can. So we were actually doing I was running as well as I did on the entire weekend with Alex, which was really good. And I said to Alex on the way into Worcester, I was like, cool, blimey, we must have been 9-minute miling then. And he was like, yeah, we definitely were. Definitely. I think we were doing like 13 minutes or something like that. But it felt like we were 9-minute miling, which is the main thing. And then as I was running into Worcester, because I'd made the decision to get to Worcester, Bewdley, by the way, was the halfway point, or Highley was, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought, right, I'm going to get this Worcester section done on day 3. And then, that's, as they say, that's the broke the back of it, which I don't really know what that phrase means, apart from it sounds good. And I got to Worcester, and then with about a kilometre to go, I saw a friend of the podcast, Mac, running up towards us.
Yeah.
So that was awesome to run the last bit with Mac. He ran, I don't know, a mile or so with us. And then running past the Sabrina Bridge, I saw an individual who looked exactly like you. I thought, is that? I was like, can't be, because he's running, and it was you.
Yeah.
And the first thing I said was, "Stop running now!"
Yeah, you told me.
I'm worried about you.
First thing.
So that was amazing to see you there. And what was really nice about the end of day 3 was I finished in really good spirits, and I'd done a really hard day. I'd done as much as I had on day 1. I'd done 77k, and really enjoyed day 3. So
yeah. Well, you can see that in the footage I shot at the end of day 3 on our bonus ep that we just put up. It's you can see you're in good spirits as you reached Worcester. Yeah.
So then day 4 happened. So we went home, came back again. It's only like 10 minutes for us. Day 4, 45-minute delay. My watch map, my nav wouldn't load on my watch.
Yeah, I saw that on your stories.
I was like, oh my God, my watch was doing that horrible Garmin thing where it just spins and then freezes. And I was like, so I had to do a couple of hard resets on it. Then got Laura's watch on my wrist, and I was like, babe, I'm going to have to use yours because I can't follow the route because I'm going to lose it. So then I sent myself, the route, got her watch synced to my Garmin and all that. And then she's like, should we just try your watch one more time? Tried it and it worked. I was like,
it's always the way, isn't it?
Yeah. So we'd wasted about 45 minutes just stood on by the cathedral. But I couldn't have started because I didn't want to start my watch 10k down the road. Because I wanted to I didn't want anyone to come at me saying, "Oh, you didn't do it all."
Yeah, you missed a bit there. Yeah.
So eventually got going. Picked up Rosie, who is a local runner from Worcester, who I've met at Parkrun before, and she said, "Do you mind if I join you for a few miles?" Which was really nice. So she ran to pretty much the first checkpoint with me, which was great. So it was really nice to have Rosie running with me for that bit. Nice. And that was her local run route. So it's really good running with people who know the local area. Yeah. So she was showing me like, oh, there's the footpath here and it's easy to miss. So, we did that. Then we got to towns like Upton-on-Severn. Tewkesbury is where I listened to the podcast when I was in the trenches, because the hardest bit about the runs were the mornings, because it took me, I would say, you're probably waiting for me to say about 10 minutes to warm into this. It took me about 3 hours to warm into a day.
Yeah.
To get my stride back to where it should be because of the blisters and the pain, all that sort of stuff. But the good thing is by day 3, by halfway down the river, there are no hills at all. So the pain that I had in my quads is gone. I'm just enjoying some good old flat river running. Nice. And then it started to descend into chaos. So day 4, halfway through it, I'm following my nav, my GPX file, and I spoke to a girl called Chelsea who'd run the route in May or April, and she said, just be careful because there's a diversion around a gypsy camp, around a traveller's site.
Yes.
At such and such a place. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm sure it'll be obvious, I'm sure it'll be fine. But I followed this thing anyway. And then I thought, okay, I'm here now. Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe I can just squeeze my way through the diversions. Now, she was right. This route, the travellers basically cordoned off with old mattresses, pallets, lead piping, any sort of fly tipping you can think of.
Sounds like a game of Cluedo.
Yeah. And any weapons you can think of were there. And I was like, right, okay, I'm just going to move some of this stuff and I'm going to get back on the route. And I didn't really think how that might look. But anyway, I did it and moved all this stuff. I was chucking it behind me because obviously they don't care where they chuck the stuff. And then I jumped this fence, which was the route. And then I saw some lights, some headlights in the distance because it was going sort of darkish. And I thought, someone's just seen me. I'm on a gypsy camp. I look like I'm breaking in. I look like I'm nicking something. And I've got a camera with me. I could be doing anything here. This is not a good place to get caught. And I've got 50k in my legs. I can't run away from them.
Yeah.
And I don't know where I'm going. So I saw this car pull out onto a road and then it reversed and then pulled towards me. So I just turned round and ran another direction because I didn't know what else to do. So I just scarpered. I ran into this like field of weeds that were as bigger than me. And I was pretty scared by now because I was thinking, if I get caught, I don't know what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
So my heart was beating like 10 to the dozen. And I took my camera off, tried to hide it just in case someone had a quiet word with me. And then I'd seen the dual carriageway was up a sharp bank. And I thought, I'm going to have to just crawl up there because I can't risk going back the way I came. Because by then, by the way, the brambles were so bad. I'd just been cut to shreds. And I was like, no way am I making... I'm not regressing. I don't want to make the opposite of progress. I don't want to make the opposite of progress. Yeah. So I'm just going to have to just get onto the road and just get Google Maps out and work out the quickest way into Gloucester. So I got onto the A40, which was a dual carriageway with no pavement, 60 road, cars whizzing by me. And that was the moment I was thinking, I think I've chosen the right decision here because I'd rather have lorries going past me than spend another 30 seconds down there.
Yeah.
And eventually managed to get myself into Gloucester city centre. And it turns out from reading that guidebook, that was the reason I was reading the guidebook when I got home. If I'd have read the guidebook, I should have been on the other side of the river from the previous checkpoint. But this GPX was the old GPX from years ago, the old 7-way that hasn't been updated in recent years since the travellers have claimed the site. Anyway, got there. Sam Bauer and Lou were waiting for me at this retail park. Sam joined me for the last 10k of the day. And then I got the last 10k finished. And I think I did just over 70k-ish for day 4, which would leave me 71 or 69k to do for day 5.
So during that whole running for your life, climbing and crawling up a bank onto a 70-mile-an-hour dual carriageway with no path, how much of that did you catch on camera?
None. I was too scared to film anything. I wish I'd have. Well, I think the only thing I filmed was me slagging off gypsies. So I don't know again how usable that will be.
Yeah. Might not make the
cut. So I don't know if that will make the cut or not. But if I did, because I can't quite remember that little section, maybe some of it will get some airtime. But there wasn't much of it. But it was one of them where you have to just act on instinct. I just get out as quickly as possible because I just didn't fancy getting caught. And what wasn't helping was adding to the jeopardy, not the jeopardy, that's the wrong word, adding to the intensity of the way I was feeling. I could hear dogs barking, and I'm not talking like little Daisy next door. I'm talking like XL bullies. I could hear lots of families rowing and shouting at each other. I could hear cars. I could hear like dirt bikes. I could hear just lots and lots of noise that was making me really anxious. And I was thinking, I just want to get out of here. So I just saw that dual carriageway and just made a beeline to it. And I went probably a mile, maybe 2 miles out the way, maybe at least a mile. But that's what you got to do, haven't you? Safety comes first, isn't it? I didn't really want to have to go into a travellers community and say, "Hi guys, I'm looking for the footpath. It used to be this way, but you guys seem to have claimed it, and so subsequently, I've got to go a different way now. Is that okay if I can just walk through all your caravans?" So
you've made my life really difficult.
Yeah. So I didn't really want to have that conversation with them. So I just sort of scarpered. But anyway, we got to day 4 finished and realised I'd left myself 70k to do for day 5. So got to bed, woke up the day after, genuinely couldn't walk. Genuinely was walking on the outside edges of my foot. Even that was mega sore. Blisters were so sore. I genuinely thought, I don't know how I'm going to run 40 odd miles today. I don't know how, but I did.
Yeah. Once your head takes over, your body just goes with it, doesn't it?
And that is one of the things that amazed me the most about this trip, is how the brain can sort of just take over, and just sort of block those pain signals. The first few miles were rancid, really, really, really painful. I took some paracetamol that morning. That was the only time I took any, and that really helped because they kicked in. But the day was really super flat, and I was having a really genuinely good time until about 50k. And then I realized, I was like, right, okay, I'm in almost double figures to go. I'm only about 10 miles to go. And then the route spits you out and you can see the 2-7 bridges in the distance. So you have that, yes, I'm nearly there moment. And that, oh my God, look how far away it is.
Yeah.
In between the bridges was a checkpoint, which was a power station, which looked so small on the horizon. And nothing was getting any closer. I was running really terribly at that time. Managed to get to that penultimate checkpoint, saw Laura, and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get this finished, because, well, I knew I was going to, but I sort of said, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, but I'm going to do the best I can. But I don't think it's going to be a sunset finish like I wanted to. I don't think it's going to be a 8:30 finish.
Yeah.
And loads of people by now were sending me like motivational messages and stuff. You called me. I had a few voice notes from people like Matt Haslam, the Matt runs, the bus driver Matt.
Yeah.
My mate Ryan sent me some really good voice notes. I've just loads of people wishing me well. Freddie, loads of people just saying like, you're a beast. You're there. I don't feel like saying I don't feel like a beast right now. And then I just got towards it had gone dark, so I'm going to have to finish with my head torch. The last 2k, I spoke to Laura pretty much for the entire time on the phone. So as much as I didn't want her to be on her own too long, so I was like, well, I'll just walk this in and we'll talk it together. So it was quite nice. And then I got to under the motorway bridge, and then from then I said to Laura, how long roughly do you think it is? She said, well, it's saying on Google Maps, the bench that you said was the finish line is 0.5 miles. So I was like, right, 800 meters. I can do that. I know an 800 meters takes me 3 minutes.
I was going to say, yeah. You'll be there in
I'll
3
see you
minutes.
in 3. I'll do 5k pace. I'd love to know how long that 800 meters took me. I would say close to 7 minutes. Sorry, something like that. I was taking about 100 meters per, about a minute per 100 meters, because my gait by then, my cadence looked a bit like yours. It was such a short cadence.
Yeah.
I was just taking short steps, and I was like in so much power. I was going, I was making all the noises.
Yeah.
And I tell you what really hurt me the previous 10 miles as well. You know the game Operation, and
Yes.
you press the wire and it goes zzz, a bit like John Locke. You know when they're at the Black Rock and they've got the dynamite.
Yeah.
Every time I trod on a bit of rock, it came straight through. I felt it on my, blisters, and it just felt like an electric shock. And it was so painful. But I managed to run that last 800 meters, and managed to get there.
I remember because I was sat at my mum and dad's just waiting for updates on Instagram from Laura to see whether you'd finished. And like I was sat there and my mum and dad were like, "Have you finished yet?" And I'm like, I'm still waiting. And I kept on refreshing it constantly, waiting for the things. And then the story popped up and I started playing it, and my mum and dad were like, "Is that Andy making those noises?" And you're just going, as you finish. So
that
good.
was me.
It's incredible.
But I was absolutely thrilled to finish. And I tell you what, even though it's summer and it's quite warm, I didn't realize how, I don't know what was going on with me, or if it was the weather or whatever it was, but I got cold really quickly on these ultras. So I'd run and then I'd sit down at checkpoint and then I'd start shivering within, I don't know, minutes, after about 2 or 3 o'clock in the day. Sorry. And that I was really cold as soon as I finished. So we didn't hang around a lot.
That's because your body was in like survival mode. You just pushed it to its limit, and then you were pushing it a bit more.
Yeah, probably right. So I think I found my limit. I don't think I could have done another day. I mean, if push came to shove and it was, then I probably could have. But I'm glad I didn't, because my body was about ready to go into protest mode, I think, saying you ain't doing another day, mate. So yeah. But what was really funny was the way day 5 started. I went to the toilet. It took me about, from my bed to the toilet is probably about 20 foot, 15 foot. I think it took me about 2 minutes to get there. Honestly, I was thinking, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I was in so much pain. But yeah, I can't believe I did it. And mate, can I just say, I honestly, I feel inspired, I feel like, what else have I got? What else can I do? That's the sort of feeling I felt. And it's like, I don't know, it just felt a bit of it's adventure. I love adventure. I'd probably say it's my first love, really. I love adventure. And a journey like this, like I was saying, you do need a teammate. So I'm really grateful that I've got Laura. But an adventure like this, to share it with Laura, was just exactly what we needed. I think maybe not what she needed, but,
no.
But it was really good to do it together. And like I said, if you ask her to be really honest, I think she might admit she might have had a little bit of a good time. She might have actually liked it a little bit.
Yeah,
but
amazing, mate. I'm in awe. I am in awe of what you've managed to do. It's an incredible feat.
And, you could so easily do it. I genuinely think anybody could easily do it. It's just sheer stubbornness. Because once you've planned all those checkpoints, those fun things, those targets, and you've got the new kit on your back, it all just becomes like this is happening. This is happening. I'm going to do it. It's just how long, basically, but I am going to do it. But I genuinely think if you can run a marathon, I'd say you'd probably need to have run a marathon at least. You could probably do a series of ultra marathons, probably, because you're probably stronger than you think.
Well, I think you're underplaying what you've managed to achieve. To be honest, I don't think it's easy. I think that's the wrong word to use. You are downplaying what you've managed to achieve in those 5 days. Is incredible, mate.
Well, it's less a battle of pace and more a battle of endurance.
It's mind over matter, isn't it?
Yeah. And some of the places you go to in your head where you're thinking, I can't do this. I don't want to do this. I can't be bothered to do this anymore. I'm sick of getting lost. And if you're anything like me, which is human, you will get annoyed at those things.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who would get lost and be like, that wasn't so bad. You know, you get lost and it's the end of the world. It's like if you get lost and realize you've just added another a mile onto your day, you're not a happy man about it. You're not happy because you're already crabby. I don't know how you can be not crabby about those things when they don't go to plan. But in many ways, that's what makes the adventure so worthwhile. Those highs and those lows. Yeah. But
amazing. Yeah, but also remind us what cause you were running this epic adventure for.
Yeah. So we Laura and I's dads both died. Yeah, well, funnily enough, it's the anniversary of my dad's death today, so 15 years ago. So 2010, and so Laura and I, we've always, if ever we raise money, we like to raise money for cancer research, and it's especially close to home as well because Laura's mum's not too well with having been diagnosed with cancer as well, and so that's what we raise the money for. And I'm just going to double check what my my numbers are, because I have raised, I think, close to, here we go, just go on the fundraising page, drum roll please, £910.
Amazing.
I wanted to raise 100 quid. I didn't think I would raise more than 100 quid. So people have just been so kind. And I would never say, or I don't want to ever like guilt trip anyone into donating, but just a like, because if you don't and you like it, someone else might. That's how it works. So if you see my fundraising page, or if you want to tell someone that you know that I've just run 200 mile down the river, you never know, they might give me a fiver as well. So, and it's not me, it's given it to cancer research. So it's a worthy donation, I think. So
that's incredible, mate. So I'll put the donation link in the description of this video and in the podcast notes. So cheers, mate. If anybody would like to donate to the cause, now that we know he's completed it,
I've done it now, so you can give me some money.
Yeah, so I'll put the fundraising link into the description and the podcast notes. But dude, there's only one word for it, and that is epic. It's incredible, mate.
I'm really proud of myself for getting it finished.
Yeah.
And just having an idea, something that started as an idea has now turned into a memory. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's amazing. And one thing that I'm a big fan of is, if there's something that you've always wanted to do, work out what it is that's stopping you doing it, get that out of the way, go do the thing.
And go and do it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, you should be proud of yourself, mate. I am super, super proud of you. And I'm sure every single one of the listeners right now is proud of you as well. So
thank you all.
Yeah, congratulations on such a epic thing to do.
Nice one. It was good fun. It was enjoyable. It was painful, but it was memorable. And
good.
It was
amazing. Weekend. Well, really, the only thing left to do for this week is to finish off with the Strava segment. So this week, who do you reckon is at number one in the gold medal place for distance from last week's Strava leaderboard?
I've said this before. It's the
and-
only reason I did it. The only way.
I know. So by just under what is that? 97 mile in front of second place is Andy Maguire with 177 miles exactly. You couldn't have planned that better. So 177 miles for the week.
If I'd have done it properly, there would have been another 40 on there as well.
I know,
another 50 on there, yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't have gone into Monday, but there we go. But yeah, you are at the top, and it's not surprising. But in second place was Kyle Blacketer with 80.6 miles, and third was Adam Mays with 75.4 miles. And then in our climbing, we have not just a leader, but we have a female overall leader of our climbing this week, and that is Jackie Wilson with 10,846 foot of elevation for the week.
I could be wrong, but I think Jackie has just done the Lakeland 50 miler, or was it the 100? One of those two races. I'm not sure. It might have even been the 100. I'm not sure.
No, she did the 50 miler because her longest run was 50 miles.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. So awesome work, Jackie. And I know it's spelt different, but when I saw your name, Jackie Wilson, all I could think of was you're probably too young to remember this. But do you know of a band called Dex's Midnight Runners?
Yeah.
Who did Come On Eileen?
Yeah.
They also did a song called Jackie Wilson Says, or Jackie Wilson Said. And when they were on Top of the Pops back in the day, performing Jackie Wilson Said, they had a TV like screen behind them showing like visuals and stuff. And the person who was in control or in charge of doing the visuals got the person who the song was about wrong, and instead of getting images of Jackie Wilson, who was a singer from the olden days, they got pictures of Jockey Wilson, who was a darts player in the 80s. So on the screens behind them whilst they were performing, Jackie Wilson Said was Jockey Wilson, a big
That's pretty funny
darts player. But there we go. That just popped into my head when I saw your name, Jackie. Sorry about that. But incredible work, Jackie, with your climbing. Second place was Ryan Gowan with 9,136 foot. And you, Andy, was in third place with 7,149 foot.
That was from day one.
But then our top three ladies for distance. First was Rachel Watson with 57.7 miles, and it was mega close at the top this week because in second place was Leanne Byard with 57.1 miles, so only 0.6 of a mile in it. And then in third was Jackie Wilson with 54.9 miles.
Nice.
And then our top three ladies for climbing. Now, obviously, Jackie won that, so I'm going to do second to fourth. In second was Chloe Hamard with 3,053 foot. Second was Sarah Brunner with 2,280 foot. And third was Ash Spedding with 1,877 foot.
Amazing.
So there we go. So thank you very much to everybody for taking part in the Strava segment. If you want to try and make the leaderboard one week, go and join our Strava club on Strava, running the red line. And you never know, you might be on the leaderboard one week.
I'll give you my GPX file from the River Severn.
Amazing. Right. Have you got anything else on the top of your head right now before we finish off?
No, I've just had so many takeaways this week to recover. It's been fantastic.
Excellent. Did you have a Shimla?
I actually haven't had a Shimlet, although it technically
Ah.
was a PB. I've had 2 McDonald's, fish and chips, and a Pizza Hut, and that's between
Excellent.
Monday and Thursday this week.
Excellent. Yeah,
It's been
that's the
quite-
best way to recover. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
just eat.
Good. Right. So on that, we shall say thank you so much for watching or listening, and Andy, proud of you, mate.
Thanks, mate.
incredible.
Thanks for your
So,
support.
We shall see you all next time. Cheers, guys.
Take it easy, everyone. Ta-da!